shows up. And we are live now on YouTube. Can you believe that? And I tell you, I am a new person. And it goes along with, this goes along with perfectly the Mayan New Year. It's the Mayan year of the electro yellow seed. And you're supposed to shed your skin like a snake, and you're supposed to take on new adventures and just go to places that you've never been. And with me, it's just the same thing. So my new motto is ESS 60 increases mammals lifespan 90%. I love those laboratory rats. It's good for smiling depression. I left that guy behind, and is safe to consume. So what's not to like?
And I think we're done with the podcast. I think that's and cut.
And Tanya's saying good day, everyone. Much love from Australia. So
poor Australia. Well, what I'm going to say is that I think everybody's being maximally tested. I know that I am so relaxed. I'm feeling so good. And then I see these guys drilling at my corner of my beautiful new neighborhood, and they're putting in a 5G cell tower. And all I could think of was get home quick, put it on a spoon, and start drinking, because there's something in this bottle that helps with mental balance. And to learn that my neighborhood was about to be traumatized by 5G radiation was very upsetting for me. But it was really interesting. I came home, and this is a funny way to put it, I hit the bottle. But it was C60 Evo. I don't drink liquor. And I already feel better. I'm authentically smiling, and I have no more, what do you call the depression? Smiling depression.
Yeah. And again, I'm just going to read from this article that I've written that was picked up by digitaljournal.com, which is an online publication. And I said, as many of you know, I'm a graduate counselor, psychotherapist, University of Texas, as well as a lawyer, Yale Law School. And here we go, seriously. And, we'll give all our salutes to the FDA. This is not a medical opinion. In my professional opinion, I believe I've made a preliminary working discovery that ESS 60 can function in specific individuals as a powerful and beneficial mood stabilizer and enhancer to, quote, smiling depression, and can contribute to high functioning euthymic positive mood and work output among individuals with a situational or chronic mood disorder, such as, quote, situational depression. Now, let me tell you, if you're living in the United States, where you've paid out trillions of dollars for the last 20 years on a war that just imploded on you, and all those dollars are going out, I mean, talk about depression. Wow. Among other things. And what I've experienced, and there are many other remedies, but I'm saying that this is what worked for me. And I'm trying to express something that's subjective, but problem solving. I think that I've been able to go in and go up to a level of high achievement problem solving. Higher order thinking. And people can go to, we built a new website for Omniversity. See, because the Omniverse is a successor to the universe and the multiverse. It's a new discovery. So universities study universes, but you need an omniversity to study an omniverse. And we built a new website called omniversity.info, and people are welcome to go there. But that higher order thinking, I believe, is enhanced by this. And it's the same sort of feeling that I had when I met Mr. Fuller at the University of Cincinnati. I think that's why they named the Fullerene after him. You know, it's not only symbolic, but there's higher order thinking. Chris, as a scientist, to sort of ground us, because I tend to wax poetic.
You're in the
You know,
Mammals.
and this is all personal opinion. I want to say this is just my testimonial. Could you step in here as a scientist and tell us how could ESS 60 affect higher order thinking?
Well, first, I recently got back from the Omniverse, and I'm a little tired, so I'm gonna take a little shot of our product.
Chris is going to hit the bottle. You know, I have to agree, because with what I've gone through with my health, that my brain is just, honestly, all modesty aside, I feel the same as you. Like, I've been really impressed with my focus and my ability to go into new things that I don't like doing, but just saying, you know what, do the steps, get it done, it's behind you, which is kind of an evolution of hating things, you know, but saying I can do this with everything now. So I feel also this higher mind set of a commitment to heal and a commitment to stay balanced and strong, knowing that we've got a jubilee instead of a horrible thing coming. I really feel positive, and I think a lot of it has to do with this miracle molecule that we all take every day. Okay, Chris, now that you've balanced, let's see if you're smarter than 3 minutes ago.
So, yeah, because that's all I had was I need to take a little bit more. When you start talking about, you know, of course, we have to be careful with the FDA, and that's good. Like, we should be careful. We don't want to make over-exaggerate claims. You know, anything that might happen to you could be very different than which happens to those people, you know, on the show, and those people who have given us testimonials that we might share. One of the things that I think is universally understood is how important sleep is, right? Universally, we understand it's good for our mental, physical, and emotional well-being. We know this, like, we've read enough. Our parents have pounded into our heads, you need to get sleep. And as a society overall, we do a lot of hand waving. We're like, sleep is so absolutely detrimentally, if you don't get it, important, that you must get your 8 hours. It's really 7.5 to 9 hours of sleep opportunity every single night. Well, you know, unless you've got something else to do, right? And that's what we do as a society. Like, we're driven. We've got, you know, electricity drives the lights that we can stay up longer, and we allow that to happen. We are the only species on the planet that will forego sleep for a non-healthful purpose, right? As fun as dancing is, I love to dance. It usually happens late. It's not really improving my life, just my fun, right? So as a society, we know it's useful. We also kind of do some hand waving at how useful it is. And when you think about the most consistent testimonial about C60 Evo, it is typically, I just took mine right now. I took an extra dose because it's been a long day. Typically, our customers take it in the morning. They report mental focus and energy during the day, and then better sleep that night. And we get testimonials along the lines of, like, even when I don't get as much sleep, I wake up and feel more rested. Even if I've had a few drinks, I wake up and I feel better than than it would have normally been the case had I not been taking C60 Evo. And if it's true, we know it's true, that sleep helps your mental, physical, and emotional well-being, then taking this product, getting that more restful sleep, helps your focus. It helps your emotional balance. It helps you accomplish more in the day. And I always joke, one of our worst testimonials, which is very relevant in this moment, is after analyzing their history with the product, they would have kind of said, this is after 3 months of being on the product, one of our larger distributors in Houston. She said, at 3 months, I would have probably told you that I hadn't really noticed anything, but I slowed down and I said, well, wait a minute, I'm waking up earlier. I wasn't really a morning person before. I'm working like an extra hour late. So that's happening. And I cleaned my garage, right? And that's arguably the worst testimonial for any supplement in history. You know, buy this and you'll clean your garage. But the cleaning the garage means something, right? It means something sometimes, often emotionally. We've all seen the show Hoarders, right? That's a lot of emotion going on there. Or just energy. I don't have the energy to clean my garage on the weekend or at the end of the long day. So it's ticking a couple of boxes. And I think, you know, we could have a separate debate about why it might be positively impacting your sleep. And we can attribute a lot of the testimonials, the amazing testimonials that we get, to improve sleep that people are reporting.
Right. I'd like to read some of the comments from the chat, and maybe you'd like to respond. The first is Colleen Bloomhoff says, "Love you, Patty and C60." So that's a shout out.
Hi, Colleen. Thank you for the love.
I'm not offended. You left me out. It's all right.
He's married.
Now,
I'm emotionally balanced.
Tanya Bauer from Australia says, "Can we buy in Australia?" And she also says, we are in lockdown. So could you comment on those two things? First of all, Patty, maybe as the outreach director, you want to talk about that. Can they buy it in Australia?
I'm deeply troubled watching Australian news with what they're doing with the children and the thing in the arm. And I just want to say blessings. I pray this stops really soon. In the meantime, we ship to Australia regularly. You guys are some of our best customers. We ship there all the time. And people sometimes write from Australia, do you have a distributor? And we're willing to do some distribution, but most people just buy direct from us because, no, we don't typically have distributors. Everything is made fresh in our lab from scratch. Even the C60, we are the only lab in the world that's been manufacturing raw C60, fullerenes, all different varieties, industrial grade, now up to the purest form, ESS60, guaranteed to be safe for humans. And this is the ultimate upgrade. That's why our name is EVO, Evolution, because we are the evolution of C60 rather than C60 in general. This is a whole new form, which is really pure, really clean, and we know it's safe for you and your pets. So just order on the website, and we ship to Australia all the time. I'll keep in mind that you can save 20% because your shipping is a little bit costly. And you'll save 20% if you sign up for a monthly subscription. If you don't love it, you can cancel by email, but we doubt you will. And yeah, we have packages where you can save money. But if you go to the store on Alfred's link to his landing page, you'll see all kinds of nice discounts and deals, package sets of, because we have some really neat new products coming out. I'm just going to go right into my favorite and a lot of people's favorite. Not only do we have the edible oil, backwards camera, but we also have this facial serum. Sorry, it's really funny to have a backwards camera. So here's the facial serum. You show it and see if you can get yours straight on the camera. You're like, anyway, this is 21 natural, organic, and vegan ingredients. You can lick your face and eat it. It's that clean and good. But what's interesting is my formulator, she's my age, late 60s. And when I saw her, I was like, oh my God, here I am to formulate a facial serum. What are you doing? You look fabulous. She said something I've never heard in the industry, I don't think yet, chia seed oil. Wow. So her job is she takes people through parks and gardens, and you can eat, drink, smoke, anything. So she really knows herbs and natural products, which is what we're selling. We don't do, other than our capsules that we just started selling, people really loving them. If you don't like the taste of olive oil, the capsules are great. And they're the only non-vegan thing because the capsule shell itself, they don't have vegan. But short of that, everything's organic from us, really high quality. And I want to mention something that Chris taught me recently, which is there's 3 different oils that we sell: avocado, MCT coconut. This is the gift box that they come in. It's so sweet. It looks like a present whenever you get anything from our company. So there's olive oil, avocado oil, and MCT coconut. And when companies are promoting MCT coconut as this is the best C60 you're going to get, I guess they don't have a lab to know the concentration levels, because Chris and Robert have known for a long time that olive oil holds 0.85 milligrams per milliliters of C60 concentration levels, which is the highest you're going to find in any product on the market that we know of. Avocado oil slightly under at 0.65, but coconut MCT oil is less than half. It's 0.35 if you're lucky, if you buy it from a good lab that's mixed it in proper vessels. Short of that, you might get 0.2%, which is really low. And so I didn't bother doing the coconut oil because I know that I get more boom for my buck with this. And if I'm going to take it on a spoon in the morning, I want a boom. So Chris has always been saying, well, I throw the coconut oil in my morning coffee. So I just had to order 3 more bottles because now I'm hooked. In the morning, before I want to put olive oil in my system, this is so easy. It's yummy. So in my coffee, and Chris and I both do super coffee, organic coffee, ghee, C60 Evo, MCT organic oil, and honey and cinnamon. I also do whipping cream because I'm that way. But boy, do I love my coffee now with Evo in the morning, and it's actually helping. Like, I've really upgraded my masseuse and my supplements that I take, but also adding the coconut oil. Who knew? Chris knew. So, because we do so many shows together, I listen and I'm like, okay, I'll, send me a bottle, and now I'm in it to win it.
Now, in the chat again, Sarah Schramek says, and this is an interesting kind of comment. She says, we were warned to take very little. I think she's talking about C60, ESS60, I'm not sure. Depending on your blood type, the cells need to breathe. Could you parse that, maybe, Chris? Because I don't quite understand that comment.
Yeah, I'm not sure I understand it either. So maybe Sarah could provide some clarification. I'm unaware of any studies that are looking into different blood types and how they might interact with ESS60. And the concept of the cells need to breathe. What we do know is that the ESS60 molecule can get into the mitochondria. For those who don't know, the mitochondria is a component of every cell. So every cell has a mitochondria in it, and that mitochondria is called the powerhouse of the cell. It's responsible for the ATP process that generates the energy that processes the sucralose into energy that your cells can use. And so we know that the ESS60 molecule is small and can get in there and support those processes. And so I would suggest that in the case of ESS60, it's the opposite, is that there's benefits to the cells breathing by consuming the product as opposed to anything detrimental going on. And that would be supported by the fact that in that original study that was published in 2012, the test subjects, in this case Wistar rats, who were given the C60 Evo formula lived 90% longer than the control group. So I'm not aware, based on blood type or anything, of any research that's been published that suggests there's a difference. And the implication of this study and all of the testimonials that we have is that it's actually beneficial.
And I read every email that comes to the company, and I see every sale and return, which are very few. And I've never seen anybody make a comment about their blood type and it doesn't resonate. So I haven't seen anything either. And I see everything. I read the comments after our shows. And the nice thing is I haven't also heard anybody say that they had a bad reaction to medications or supplements. But what I have heard a lot is the big arm sweep of that supplement table. Once they start taking Evo, they want to test it to see, is it making a difference? Should I keep doing these 8 things at the same time? Yeah, you can. But if you leave those 8 things for a week and try the Evo, you might be surprised. And then you'd spend less every month on all those things that perhaps didn't work very well.
Now we've got DJ Troxygen says, where can I buy C60 ESS 60?
C60evo.com. And if you want to save money as you check out, make sure and put in Alfred's initials. Alfred is Alfred Lambermont Weber. So just go EVALW. And at checkout, you'll save more money. And Alfred will get a little bump for his, we'd like to sponsor his show and promote him. With every sale that comes through, Alfred benefits, and you guys benefit because you get a discount using that EVALW. So you can go to c60evo.com. I'm sure he's got the link below. And I think you'll be really pleased at the choices. We also have C60 Evo for cats. That is our top selling organic olive oil. With for the cats, we add a natural salmon essence. For dogs, we add a natural bacon essence. And very soon, we've got a new product. I've just been calling the formulator today because I haven't heard from her. We've got very soon a body butter coming out that is going to be as good as the facial serum. I'm super excited, but she's making me wait. So.
Now, Pushpa Vijula kind of takes the same thing. Where are these available, which you just talked about? But he says price. What's the price?
The small bottle is 4 ounce, and I don't have an 8 ounce with me. I have 16, which I opened for myself because I need it. So here's the little one. Do you have an 8 ounce, Chris? Do you have all 3 sizes?
No, I don't. Usually,
well, anyway, the small, medium, large, extra large for families that like to get on it, but we don't recommend it for pregnant people or pregnant women. I'm not one of those pregnant people.
Let's be clear about that. It's not because there's any studies that show women who are pregnant or even nursing that there's any detrimental effects. It's just it's such a formative time, and there isn't any data. That's a situation where scientists want to have more data to confirm that it is safe. So not that it's not safe. It's just like it hasn't been tested or studied.
We know that adults can take it. We're looking for. Chris has his kids on it. And I think that, soon we will be willing to encourage kids, but we want to have more experience before we do. So we're staying safe and we're following the rules because we've got something that's making a difference for people across the world. The price, sorry. So the 4 ounce is $95. And if you buy it on a subscription, it's $75. Like I said, you can cancel the next day. You still save $20. The 8 ounce is $180. On subscription, I think it's $144, and this one is $350 on subscription, $280. Boom, boom, yay, C60. So, and the giant one is $675, and it's like too heavy for me to carry here. No, it's not. It's 32 ounces, but it's a really big bottle. You get that, you're going to feel like it's Christmas. Get my straw. So, yeah, I think the nice thing is that we all take it. And the other day I took a little drive up to a town called Netherland in the mountains. And I went to a friend's store. She hand makes everything. It's this hippie store. And I hadn't seen her in a while. And this guy with a beard that stuck out, he was so adorable, sitting out there making jewelry, in front of her store, followed me in with a shungite necklace. And he walks up and I was like, what's this behind me? And so he came up and he goes, I've been following you for years. I was like, are you scaring me or what do you? He said, I love your films. I'm really sorry about all you've gone through. And I love Alfred Lambermont Weber.
Whoa.
Awesome.
Well, we've got some more comments. And I love this next comment because they use the term jabber, which we're going to use instead of we know what. Okay, so this is from Bodcat Y. Are studies being done currently on this product to see if it helps with detoxing from the adverse effects of the current jabber venom being pushed on millions? I know that it's 172 times antioxidant than
Vitamin C.
vitamin C, and many of what's being promoted now to be counter to the jabber are high antioxidants. So that is one of the multiple reasons why I'm taking it, apart from the fact that it's been proven to be anti-AIDS or you can get into it, an antiviral.
Yep.
So it's a good prophylaxis against what's happening there, and it's a good prophylaxis on what they're finding, and that is people that have been jabbered are now spreading that. They're sort of walking spreaders, and by taking this, you're actually putting yourself in an envelope because you have this tremendous antioxidant, and you have the antiviral, and you have the anti-AIDS, all of which has been demonstrated laboratory for ESS 60. But Chris, as a scientist, could you come in on that?
Yeah. So what you're talking about are the things that might help support your immune system. That's what you're looking for. To address the question straightforward, I'm not aware of any studies that, I'm sure there's some studies going on to the adverse effects that are happening. There are no studies about this particular product and its impact on those adverse effects. So that's where we're at. I think what Alfred's talking about are what are the ways that it supports the immune system, because that's the ultimate thing, is to have a balanced immune system to have protective effects really against any sort of invaders into your body. And one of those is the fact that there's at least one study that shows it to be 172 times more powerful than vitamin C. You look at inflammation being a big issue, and the cytokines associated with kind of viral infections and the impact that good anti-inflammatories have on those. We have to be really careful. What we can say about the product with the FDA's blessing is that our product supports inflammation or anti-inflammatory effects in relation to inflammation caused by exercise, right? So that's very good and accurate. What we're not able to say is that it, has an impact on inflammation in general, because the FDA has decided that's a disease, and there need to be more studies to support that, whether our product has a positive impact on those or not. What we can say definitively is that it fits naturally in an anti-inflammatory diet. Those diets are associated with people who have reduced incidences of stroke, reduced incidences of heart attacks, and actually live longer in general. So a strong immune system built into those. So hopefully I covered kind of the points you were looking for me to cover, Alfred.
Oh, great. Now, sort of a follow-up on this, we have Karen Ann McDonald is saying, she asked, quote, what about several nanotech fullerenes? She asked, fullerene can cause side effects with 6G, question mark. Brian 369, I'm not sure what that is, and AI, artificial intelligence. So it's a whole nanotech question, AI question, 6G question. Could you address that?
Yeah, we get this fairly regularly, and I can understand, you've got, I'm holding up the cage structure, right? This is what the molecule looks like. And you could let your imagination run wild on what this might be able to do. The challenge with it, and we've been trying to come up with at the office of a good way to describe what you're looking at and how impossible it is that this really could operate in any sort of nano robot, nano antenna, nano communication device. It's literally made up of 60 carbon atoms. That's 60 units of the fundamental matter of Earth. There's only 60 of them. And it's kind of like saying, hey, I'm going to give you 60 ball bearings, right out of a wheel, like a rollerblade wheel or whatever, 60 ball bearings, make something with it. And you really can't, right? If you're not melting them down and doing something else, because they're so small, there's nothing you can do with it. We as a population, as humans on planet Earth, actually have a really hard time manipulating individual atoms. We can't typically put atoms where we want them to go. They go where they chemically are driven to go. And so, yeah, this 60 carbon atoms, it may look, spooky or whatever, depending on your perspective, but it is only 60 atoms, and there's really nothing that we can do that anyone could do with just 60 fundamental pieces of matter. Let me give you an example. Let's just say we were trying to create a robot that could do the same as the cells in our body. Every cell in our body has 100 trillion atoms. This only has 60. So if we're going to try and replicate what a cell does in our body, we're looking at, 100,000 orders of magnitude more than in terms of the atom count than you have in one of these ESS 60 molecules.
Okay.
I want to elaborate on that a little, because we do get letters from people that are worried about graphene and graphite, which is very different, which Chris has explained in a lot of shows, because people are concerned about perhaps there may be graphene oxide that they're finding in these arm things, the shots in the arm, maybe. A lot of people are saying so that are medical experts, but we'll see what's true. And so people are scared that C60, with the graphene, not even close. Chris has explained it, and he can go on it again. But there are people kind of de-promoting C60. Needless to say, same thing as de-promoting those things that do heal people at a time like this. So we are coming out with a breakthrough product, which isn't C60 like all the others, but the evolution, which is ESS 60, a whole different level of carbon 60 molecule. Chris and Robert have been manufacturing it, selling all over the world to research institutions that test the products when they receive them. So if Chris and Robert sent them something that was less than par, boom, they'd get caught right away. If we send it to customers, we wouldn't get caught, but we don't need to worry, because every batch that we put out is tested in a real machine that measures the concentration levels. So when our bottle says maximum concentration on olive oil, you will test it in any lab, get 0.8 or 0.86 milligrams per milliliters. Our avocado oil, like I said, 0.86. But when Chris and Robert tested 22 products in March 2020 and February, to be exact, both months, they bought all these online products and ran them through the HPLC machine. I haven't been practicing. HPLC means
high performance liquid chromatography.
Okay, so what it does is it photographs the product so clearly that you can measure how much C60 is in it or not. And most of the products we measured had 10 to 30% of what they promised. I'm telling you, a top brand that gets heavily promoted had 1/10 of what the bottle should have had in it. So when people are talking about C60, wah, wah, they're not talking about ESS 60. And that's why Chris, he used to have to what's that dog chain that goes, if I said C60, he'd hit the buzzer and
Shock collar.
Shock collar, thank you.
I sent it to you, but I don't know why you never wore it.
You didn't have a battery in it. So it took a little while, but there's such a difference with ESS 60 and industrial grade C60 that we needed to elaborate on the difference. And that's why we're out here doing a lot of shows. And also, I pretty much brought C60 to market, which Chris knows. I was using a different brand, and it was even coconut oil, but I still felt something because it was Chris's raw C60. And luckily, I kind of honed my way to work with the real guys that are making the products in their lab with tremendous integrity. I'm so honored to be working with them. And they give me the freedom because everything I've invented, created, and that they have is selling really well because it works. We just came up with another product recently, lip renewal. And I put it on a minute ago, and my lips are still buzzing. This is the coolest stuff. I don't know if you've ever put on a menthol lip balm where it's like you could feel it like you're almost out in the snowy day and your lips are lit up like warm. That's what this does. And it's natural mint. Again, it's all vegan, all organic, but this is our natural mint lip renewal. And boy, does it help. And then we have an unscented, unflavored for people that like things more natural, raw, plain, no flavor. So our packages, we do like the facial and the oil and the lip renewal. If you want a whole package, you pay less. But you might want to try one of each product just to see if they work for you. And like I said, the subscription, you're not obligated. All you do is get 20% off and keep getting it once a month until you don't want it anymore. Best deal we've got.
Yeah, just along the same line, Pushpa Vijula from Mumbai, India asks, are these natural extracts?
That's a great question. And the first thing to explain is that this molecule was actually discovered in 1985 at Rice University here in Houston, Texas. And the 3 professors who discovered it went on to win the Nobel Prize in 1996. The material, this molecule, is in fact naturally occurring. If you collect the soot from a candle, usually you do that with a cold plate. So you got a burning candle, you collect the soot from that candle. That black soot will have a very small amount of the really carbon-60, that's pre-processed ESS60. So it is absolutely a naturally occurring molecule. And then in order to get quantities that you're going to be able to use in a supplement, there isn't enough in a candle flame. There is a flame synthesis process. That's not the process we use. We use an arc technique. So we make it in a reactor. Anytime you're making something, you have this kind of awareness that like natural hormones are better than man-made hormones. And part of that reason is because when you get into chemistry, you can have right-handed molecules and left-handed molecules. So they can be the exact same composition, but have a different chirality. And that chirality can have a significant impact on how it interacts with your body. That is untrue with the ESS60 molecule. There are 60 carbon atoms. They're bonded very specifically, a certain number of double bonds, certain number of single bonds. There is only one way to put together a carbon 60 atom, period. Like that's end of story. There's one. If you've made one or you've harvested it from a candle or you pulled it out of space, because there's a lot in space that's been confirmed, then it's just the same. So in order to have a quantity that we can sell, we do make it in a reactor. And it is very much a naturally occurring molecule.
Now, when Chris says reactor, he just like sweeps by it like it's just this little thing. I have to say that when they flew me down and we became partners, they waited till day 2 till they knew I was totally cool and deserved to go in their lab, which is hush hush. So, we weave our way around and everything is huge and immaculate and gorgeous and shiny. And I'm like, oh my God, I've seen C60 labs in basements and garages. This is amazing. I was completely elated. And then, it's also 100 degrees. So I'm like taking layers down. I've got half my clothing over my arm. And then we get to what do you call it? The piece de resistance, this huge Star Wars machine back at the end of the lab, which is the reactor. Now, I want to mention that Chris, he's only like 30 looking, but he's 50 something. And when he and my other partner, Robert, were in college in their 20s, they invented this reactor because their professor said, C60, if you can figure out how to make it, is worth more than gold per gram per ounce. And the two of them were like, cha-ching, cha-ching. They didn't even realize that they would be elating their family with radiant health, giving everybody a longer life. They thought it was just, so they invented this huge machine that's metal. It must weigh a couple thousand pounds.
Yep.
Easy. So this reactor that he slipped by is this massive Star Wars thing that they created when they were 20. Which really impresses me that here I am, my partners have been making it 30 years. They invented the machine. So when I saw it, I'm staring and I'm like, for no reason, and he knows I'm not technical or scientific, I have no clue what I'm looking at other than a ton of metal. I said, do those things go in and that comes down? Do you remember that, Chris?
Yep.
And he was like, yeah, how'd you know? And I said, I saw it in a dream. Now, I'm Woo-Woo Patty from Boulder, Colorado. Chris is the scientist. So I had to give him like an intuitive hug, but I was just like, this rocks. Because I saw it in a dream. And then there I was in front of this Star Wars thing that was going to make us, give us the ability with my audience and my friends like Alfred and Chris and Robert with this great lab and wonderful customer service shipping department. We just went like this. And now there's no doubt in my mind, nobody can compete with ESS 60 anywhere in the world as far as pure carbon 60. And these are the original guys making it. So there's some people in the world other than C60 Evo. There's a few that also sell ESS 60. And I'd love to say only ours, but there's only a couple more that Chris loyally works with. And, you know, I respect anybody taking ESS 60 because I know how lucky I feel. I also walk around without a mask until people, you know, go into their mode, but I don't get sick. I haven't gotten the thing that everybody, you know, was so worried about, even though a lot of people I know had it that I was, you know, maybe near in the past. I don't know anybody who's had it for 6 months, really, but I never got sick. So there's something that comes with taking this product where I feel confident, and I don't know about other people, but this gives me tremendous confidence in my endurance and in my focus, but also in not getting sick. This 172 times more powerful than vitamin C, I think it's true. Chris knows it's true because he's the scientist. You know, I just listen to a lot of facts and I see what resonates with me. All I know is it works. It works.
Chris, we have another technical medical question from Deborah Remington in the chat. She asks, is this safe for people on blood thinners?
Yeah, so I'm unaware of any research that's suggesting that it's unsafe. If you're really concerned, yes, have a conversation with your doctor about it. Unfortunately, I wouldn't be surprised if he's not aware of ESS 60 or C60 Evo. What I can say is that we have tens of thousands of customers. They're all in, taking different supplements, taking different medications, and we haven't had the report of even one ill effect of people using our product. And frankly, if I'm honest, Patty and I have had these discussions. Eventually, somebody will come back to us and blame us something on our product, which isn't even caused by our product. And that it hasn't even happened yet. We kind of inherently know that we're going to get the finger pointed at us for something that's not our fault. But even that hasn't happened. Nobody's complained. Our biggest complaints are, hey, I'm taking 5 mils of this. That's a teaspoon of oil. I don't really like how it sits on my stomach. That can take a day or two to get used to. Some people don't like the flavor. Really good quality olive oil will leave a peppery aftertaste at the back of your throat. In which case you should skip that and go with the gel caps. So,
yeah. Now, let me ask you the basic question. What is it about the C60 ESS molecule? What is it about that creates all of these beneficial effects that people like Patty and myself and other are feeling and testifying about, and not only subjectively, but objectively? I mean, we're living track records of higher accomplishment. In other words, people can go to omniversity.info and they can see a track record of accomplishment there.
Do you want to say your age? Because I think people will love you more.
Well, I'm going to be 80 in a few months.
Wow. Yeah.
I think you'll have a few comments like, what?
Very good. So I think the reality is scientists much smarter than me are ultimately going to figure out exactly what's going on. I've had very kind of fun intellectual debates with my director of research about, yes, we've got this one study that shows it to be 172 times more powerful than vitamin C. And there is the possibility that it actually works as an antagonist, that perturbs your system and causes it to get more efficient. Actually, Karen, very early in the show, commented that fasting does the same things that you were talking about. when you're talking about getting rid of smiling depression and sleeping better. Yes, in fact, fasting can do that. What's coming out in terms of longevity is anything that kind of causes your body to think, oh, I might be dying soon, right? Like, so fasting because there's no more food on the plains, actually getting really cold. Whenever it gets cold, you certainly run the risk of dying, or we used to run the risk of dying. Those types of things cause our body to get more efficient and get rid of what's called senescent cells. And the conversation with my director of research was, well, maybe this is actually working as more of a perturbation, causing internal stresses that cause your body to get more efficient, get rid of those senescent cells. So that's actually something that we've been pursuing, is how do we kind of get our hands on a senescent cell researcher who can help us run a study. That's one of the differences between us, certainly us and any other C60 industrial C60 sales company out there, is that we're actually investing in research. And we actually are scientists who know what we're doing, who are investing in research, not just kind of coming up with theories and going on podcasts and stating them as facts. Because you got to be careful. Like, let's talk about the research and where is that research going. So if it's doing both things, so maybe it works as an oxidant. As an example, we mentioned already that it does get into the mitochondria. If you filled a room of medical mitochondrial experts and told them, hey, would it be good to have a free radical sponge in the mitochondria while it's going through its ATP processes, everybody in the room would raise their hand, because that would be a good thing. Well, we know that the ESS60 molecule is a free radical. We know that it does get into the mitochondria and can participate in the ATP process. We just don't know exactly what that participation looks like. So there are scientists who are actively working right now to figure out what is the mechanisms that are causing these benefits. And, you know, I would love to say we'll know soon, but the reality is that research takes years. So it will be years before we know for sure. And we're already in the process of recreating that original Paris rat study, where those rats given the C60 Evo formula lived 90% longer. That's going to take 6+ years to complete that, like minimum. We're actually hoping it'll take 10 years, because that we're going to have a different protocol, and those rats will actually live even longer.
That's crazy. Yeah. Well, I think that the proof is in the pudding. We are looking at people, and we are seeing the three of us, for instance. You're almost 80. I'm late 60s. Baby face is 52. So we've got 50s, 60s, 70s represented here. And I know for myself, I am more clear than I've been in decades. And I think that when you look at our skin, you can judge for yourself. You know, I'm not young and my skin is improving. How does that happen? Love ya. Thanks, Brigitte. Thanks, Ken Chen. Product is great. And what's fun is giving people their first bottle, selling them their first bottle, because often I'll get a call within hours like, what's in here? This is crazy. I already feel it. Or the next morning. At least almost all of my friends felt it immediately, but all my friends are formulators and high sensitive females in Colorado. So, you know, we do sense, we do notice. And I think a lot of people, not very often we hear, oh, this is the cool delivery system. Yeah, it's this tipped, what do you call that unit? Dropper. But it doesn't spill, which is nice, unless you tip the bottle over like I did yesterday for a second. And I took it immediately and rubbed it on my arms. Yeah, we can't talk about, Chris, you are muted.
I'll learn how to operate this soon. I've actually got a little bit of noise happening behind me, just not right now. I didn't tell you this, Patty. So I had a couple coming back. I was out of town, got back in town. I had a couple bites. Animal, I don't know what kind of insect bit me, but they were red and very irritated. Started putting this on it. It was really good right away. Interesting thing happened. My dog was licking it off of my leg. Right. So, and I started thinking, I asked my wife, so how many lotions and face serums do you have that the dog will actually lick off of you? And her answer was like, none. Like, there's nothing that you can go to the store and buy that's natural and healthy enough that your dog is going to lick it off of your leg. So I don't know if that's a good marketing plan. Even your dog will lick it off your skin. I'm not sure that's great marketing. And it's pretty impressive.
Well, I heard you do the testimonial about dogs the other day without me on the air. And I that's my favorite testimony. This guy had us an old dog and a young dog. And he said the old dog's just sitting in the corner. And I decided to share my C60 with the dog. And then I ordered some for him. All of a sudden, he's humping the young dog again. This stuff works. So, humping.
Yeah. Now,
One more thing.
sorry.
You said your 11-year-old beautiful daughter started using this on her skin and had remarkable improvements. What was that about?
Yeah, again, FDA hasn't evaluated. She has some acne, and in putting on the product on her acne helps significantly.
Yeah, when Chris and his kids were visiting me recently, and he asked for my Evo because his daughter wanted it, on her face, and I was like, oh yay, I mean, we don't encourage children to take the edible elixir because we don't know yet, but I think it'll be great for them when we do. And if a bunch of people are affected by the thing in the arm, C60 Evo, I think, will be a saving grace for many people. I don't know what else they'll need, but this is a great remedy to really increase your immune system, antiviral, antibacterial, and works with an inflammatory diet, which is how we have to say that one. And ultimately, because you're sleeping better, you're feeling better, it's ultimately anti-aging. And that's another way we describe it. So Alfred being almost 80, me being almost something, and Chris puppy face 52. I think that when you look at how we are present, and we're not exactly young, other than puppy face. I'm sorry, I'm jealous. Okay.
Well,
I think it's got something.
Yeah, I just want to get to Stargazer's comment and the dog because he's concerned or she's concerned. She says, the dog is not anymore. Obviously, there was a miscommunication there. So, Chris, could you clarify that?
Oh, yeah. So in that particular example where the dog was humping again, that's actually Patty's more in contact with him than I am. My understanding is the dog's still with us. Yeah. And probably still humping.
Probably. The other person that I'm waiting for his testimonial. He wants to wait till Donkey, his fantastic dog, is 14 in early September. But Philip Hillis, that runs the C60 Research Society, longest one on Facebook. He's got a big following, really great guy. He was doing all the other products, and I invited him to have one little bottle. See, no, I'm already happy here, and I already do this for my dog. And about a year later, he finally wrote me and said, you know what? Let me try it. And now he's been buying it like 60-ounce bottles. Go, Philip. But his dog started taking his formulation. It's basically the same, but with bacon essence. He didn't want the bacon. He just gives it to his dog. And now Donkey, whose life, I'm trying to think, bull terrier or some kind of real solid, cute dog, 10 years max. Well, he's almost 14. So Philip said on his 14th birthday, if he's still with us, and he's constantly throwing down videos of Donkey running down the block. The difference in his dog's life has been remarkable. So I would say it might be more noticeable for older dogs, but for all people, other than young people that we're not sure yet. But older dogs, really, you can see the benefit.
I want to add, and this is really important, when it comes to animal testimonials, Donkey running down the street, there is no opportunity for placebo effect. I think that's, when people hear about a new supplement and some amazing testimonials are like, oh, maybe it's the placebo effect. Donkey is not going, oh, I got my little dropper of bacon essence oil this morning, so for that reason, I'm going to trick my body into being more healthy for the rest of the day. Either Donkey feels healthy or Donkey does not feel healthy, and clearly is feeling healthy.
Philip is so excited. Yeah.
Very, very scientifically put. That's very, very interesting. Well, you know, we are coming up on the 55-minute magical 55-minute mark. Are there things that you had wanted to share? And I know that we've had a very active chat that you haven't had a chance to this show.
I think Patty's really good at outlining how you save the most money at your link.
Well, yeah, on the link to Alfred's landing page, you're going to see all of our gift sets, which means more than one item, you save about 15%. If you take that 15% and you sign it up for a monthly subscription, you get another 20% off that price. So that's a really good deal. And then at checkout, and this only works for the first order, if you put in Alfred's code, EV for Evo, EVALW, you get another 10% off, I think. I have to look at it. But there's 3 different discounts if you want more than one item. If you want just to try a small bottle of oil, $95, or sign up for a monthly subscription, $75. And it's a really good start, small start. But if you know that you've got body issues and you really want to heal, you might want to start with a teaspoon. I take a tablespoon, and I'm a little thing, 5'2", but I've been taking a tablespoon a day for probably 4 years. And I think I might win the award of taking mostly 60 of any person. So if there's a guinea pig, it would be me. And what I've survived in the last 5 years, wow. I'm really impressed. For me, it was life altering because I'm still here. And I can't elaborate much, but I've had people try and take me out. So what a product. And now I'm working with the guys that are making it, like the real stuff. So life gets good if you hold your peace, if you hold your line, and stay firm with your prayers and your intentions. And this is a product that, for me and most people that we work with and hear from, is giving us a really nice mental balance at a time when the world is whacking crazy.
Amen.
Amen. Cheers.
Okay, everybody. Well, thank you very, very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we look forward to your joining us again.
Thank you, Alfred, for having us. Great to connect.
Thank you, chat people. It was nice to get questions that we could directly answer.
Oh, now Pinker Little jumps in. Does this product, it looks like, does this product cure the brain from damage of medications? That's an important question.
Yeah, don't really know a good way to answer this. If I were dealing with the thing that I say regularly, and again, FDA not evaluated, et cetera. I've had people ask me questions. I just said, look, if it were my father or me in this situation, yes, I would be taking it. Like that's it. And the results may vary for you. Be very analytical about your approach. We do get, 3% of people say, it didn't really do anything, and I won't take it again. And I'm okay. Like, we're okay with that. We're delivering a lot of value to a lot of people who are giving us amazing testimonials, which you can read on Google. So it's okay. Like, it doesn't have to work for everything. I don't think people expect any one thing to work for everyone.
Yeah.
Advice.
Yeah. Now, Justin, along the lines of what Pinker Little said, this is somewhat, I'm just going to put in the link to the Digital Journal article, and that shows that at least in my experience, and it's a subjective psychoanalytic study, it is a mood stabilizer, and it may overcome some negative effects of SSRIs. We don't know. So she asked the brain from damage of medications, and I'm just wondering if she's referring to SSRIs or other antidepressants. And Deborah asks, doesn't it help our body do everything better?
That is if you just look at our testimonials, that is kind of the takeaway message. And again, most consistent testimonial: take it in the morning, mental focus and energy during the day, better sleep that night. Sleep will help. Yes, our bodies do everything better.
Yeah, very good. Well, that sort of sums it up. So, Deborah Remington, thank you very much for summing up the whole program.
Thank you, Deborah.
Okay, then. Thank you very much, Patty and Chris. Okay, then. Yeah, and please stay with us a moment after the program.
Take care, everyone. Stay well.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.